Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today we're going to talk about what HGH can and cannot do, because there seems to be a ton of misunderstanding and misinterpretation on this. So before we get started, I have to reiterate that I am not a doctor. Anything I say in these videos is for your entertainment purposes only. What you do with this information is completely and utterly up to you. And I am not advising nor condoning you to use any of the things that we discuss in any way, shape, or form. So, moving right along. Let's get into this because, like I said, there's a ton of misconception and misunderstanding on this topic. So, just quickly, at the age of 30, people have spent most of their lives with generally fairly high levels of human growth hormone. Now, human growth hormone is responsible for growth during your childhood, right? So, and also for the repair and regeneration of human, tissues throughout our lives. Now, by the time we reach the age of 30, our HGH levels are only about 20% of their peak levels during childhood. And after the age of 30, they continue to decline roughly about 12 to 15% per decade, and often much more. So by the time that most of us are 30 years old, our bodies generally no longer produce enough HGH to actually repair all of the damage that is occurring within our bodies. So as our HGH levels continue to actually decline, the damage that we refer to and call aging continues to accelerate. All right, so that explains a lot. Now, the decline in HGH is not only the cause of the manifestations of aging. Even if our HGH levels remained at the level of a 25-year-old, we would continue to experience the effects of aging to somewhat of a degree. All right, you can't beat Father Time. We all know that. But those effects could be greatly reduced until we reached an extremely advanced age. All right? HGH does not affect the root cause of aging as measured by maximum lifespan, but it can certainly affect many of the manifestations of aging in general. So, by increasing the levels of HGH in our bodies, we can slow or even reverse many of the manifestations of aging. It must be done carefully and really should be done through medical supervision. I know that's not going to happen for most of you, but ideally, I have to throw that in there. Now, generally speaking, ideally, this would start around the age of 30, but HGH replacement can, be beneficial at any age above 30. In fact, for older people, HGH can actually reverse the manifestations of aging by 5 to 15 years or more. So there's no other single therapy currently available that can have that sort of impact on that aging that HGH can have. So, what can HGH therapy really actually do factually? Well, it can reduce excess body fat, especially abdominal fat. All right? Now, the reduction of abdominal fat is the single most profound effect of HGH replacement for many people. However, this is not some kind of fat loss drug. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in a week, or so to speak. It takes a long time to be on HGH to start to see visible fat loss. And it's not, like I said, if you're way overweight, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about losing body fat over time and helping to generally to keep it off to somewhat of a degree. But you got to have good diet, good training, etc. This is not magic injections here, like many people think. So I just want you to understand that. I get a lot of people going, well, I want to run HGH for a month and lose 20 pounds. That's not going to happen. You got to run this for extended periods of time, and you're still not going to lose 20 pounds like that. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort and consistency and discipline. Now, it can also provide increased muscle mass and physical strength if combined with good exercise. Once again, you're not going to turn into a Mr. Olympia weightlifting champion with HGH. However, it can increase muscle mass over time. Absolutely 100%. It can reduce the wrinkling of, the skin and some other effects of skin aging. It can regrow certain organs that have atrophied with age. It can increase bone density. It can strengthen your immune system, which as you age especially is very, very important. It can reverse cognitive decline, which many of us do struggle with as we age. It can actually stimulate production of the bone marrow cells that produce red blood cells. It can reduce the probability that you will spend the last years of your life in a nursing home. And HGH actually slows the progression of cardiovascular disease, and it reduces the risk of death from cardiovascular disease in individuals with natural growth hormone levels that are actually below the average for the age of themselves. HGH can also slow the progression of cardiovascular disease by improving someone's cholesterol profile. All right, there is actually increasing evidence over the past few years that maintain healthy growth hormone levels result in a stronger heart. Individuals with low growth hormone levels have an overall increased risk of death due to cardiovascular disease. Low growth hormone levels cause a particularly large increase in the risk of stroke as compared with individuals receiving growth hormone replacement. Now, what HGH cannot do, so we're on the same page here, it cannot eliminate the effects of oxidation damage, although it may possibly alleviate some of it. HGH cannot, I repeat, cannot eliminate the effects of the reduction of other hormones either. So in fact, a deficiency of certain other hormones will decrease the beneficial effects of HGH. It cannot significantly reverse the damage to human proteins caused by glucose, although it may reverse a little bit of this damage. Although it helps your skin to look younger, it cannot eliminate all the damage caused by sunlight and other ultraviolet sources, and it cannot increase your maximum lifespan. All right? So for many people with HGH or IGF-1 genetic defects, however, it can significantly extend life expectancy. So I just wanted to make sure that we cleared up everything with HGH and what you can expect and what you can't expect, how it works, what you get from it, etc. Because there's so many misconceptions out there and people that think it does certain things that maybe it doesn't, or don't know the certain kinds of things that it's capable of, things of that nature. Just remember something. Use this wisely if you're going to use it. I'm not going to get into, please don't ask me about, I'm just going to simply say the quality is imperative. I'm not going to get into how to get it, whatever. That's nothing that I do or discuss. It's not what I do with these videos or when I say to ask me questions. But I do give you the facts on how things work and how to use them. And you got to have some quality here. And there's a lot of bad quality that goes on, goes passed around out there without saying, that I've seen. But regardless, make sure that you use it responsibly and wisely if you're going to use it as well. So that being said, www.icearms.com/forums. I'm also on the evolutionary forum as well as the elite fitness forum. You can also email me, dylan@icearms.com, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli signing off.